Tips and tricks in using your state legislature's website. What's the status of a certain bill? Who sponsored it? Who voted for it? What bills are currently introduced on any given topic? When is the legislature in session? When are the legislative committee meetings? What bills has your state rep or senator sponsored? These answers and more from a Season 1, Episode 1 throwback. I'm constitutional attorney Catherine Henry. For more than 20 years, I've been fighting for the underdog. But since COVID began, I've devoted all my time and efforts to fighting against government tyranny and educating and empowering the public. So welcome to our next episode of Restore Freedom Weekly. This link is one that I've talked about before. It is the Michigan legislature. Mind you, almost every single state has a similar one. Certainly Florida does too, but I am, for simplicity's sake, just sticking with the Michigan version. This is the link to the Michigan legislature's bills. Now you can look up prior bills and you can look up current bills. So it defaults to the 2021-2022 legislative session because that's the session they're in right now. But you can do a drop down, and at least in Michigan, you can search all the way back to the 1989 to 1990 legislative session and see bills. And then you can put in the bill number. You can even search by keywords. You can also just browse bills by session that came out either from the House or the Senate. You can search by category, by sponsor, if you want to look for a particular, which bills a particular legislator has sponsored, bills by which public acts have been affected. You can see basically anything you want to know about every bill right there. And but anyway, this is for bills in Michigan, and it's very important. Like I said, the direct link is actually in the description of the video, but honestly, if you Googled bills in Michigan legislature, you would probably get to the same result. I also included calendars. This one is very important because this link gives you the most recent calendars for the House, for the Senate. You could see both. You can actually go back and look at different legislative sessions. You can look for keywords that might have existed for different events and things, but you can see the different calendars that have been posted right here on the page. It automatically just shows you December 9th, 2021 through January 12th, 2022 for both the Michigan House and the Michigan Senate. So please make sure to look at these, because one way to get involved, you might decide that you want to know when certain committee meetings are, or when actions or different votes are being taken, or when the legislators are actually be there. Get to know this part of the website, and you'll understand the ins and outs of different timing on things. The third resource that I want to provide to you and get you a little bit more familiar with today, also on the Michigan legislature website, is the link specifically for committee meetings. Now, as of today, this link, which is also in the description of the video, says that House meetings, there are no House meetings currently scheduled at this time, and the same thing for the Michigan Senate. But you can go to the Michigan House of Representatives Committee's webpage, which is right down here, and the Michigan Senate Committee's webpage, which is right below that. You can sort by a variety of things up here. You can even click to add a certain event to your calendar right here. That is giving you the little indication of which button that when you do see that there are different things on the calendar, you'll be able to take those committee meetings and click a button and be able to add those instantly to your own calendar. So if you want to go and provide public comment, if you just want to observe the committee meeting, if you want to learn how things are done, if you just want to learn more about what each committee does, that would be a perfect opportunity to give you that information. I want you to look at what bills they have sponsored. Now, so that's where I'm going to bring us back to the bills searching on the Michigan State Legislature website, where you can go to sponsor. I'm going to make a big circling motion in case you guys can see that better when my screen is so tiny. But the by sponsor section, you can click on that, and it'll give you a drop down at the very beginning for which legislative session and it defaults, of course, to the current legislative session. But you can go back and end up, looking at different legislative sessions. And you can say, I will only want to know who was the primary sponsor. Or you can say, well, I want to know, I'm interested in learning which ones that my particular state rep not only was the primary sponsor, but might have also been a secondary sponsor, somebody who is essentially, yeah, I'll put my name on that, but they weren't the main one responsible for that. So just to give you an example, right now, we'll click on both and we'll say Thomas Albert. He is the 86th District State Representative. So it's showing that in the current legislative session, the last action, for example, on one of these is showing June 10th, 2021. He submitted or sponsored a House resolution to declare June 10th, 2021 as Alcoholics Anonymous Day in the state of Michigan. It tells us also the House bills that he has sponsored. So let me see. I'm looking for something in particular. School aid. So he sponsored House Bill 4048 of 2021, school aid to provide supplemental school funding, and it would affect MCL 388.1611 and the subsequent sections, and it would add sections 11N, 11O, 11R, etc. It's adding a bunch of sections. And this says that the last time anything was done on this was that March 9th, 2021, there was a motion to override a line item, and it failed the roll call vote. It got 37 yays and 65 nays. So again, I'm just picking on him because he's one of the first that show up because his last name starts with an A, and definitely someone I know. So anyway, you can see through all the bills that he has sponsored throughout this legislative session. Want to interact on this important topic? Comment on this video or call in the second Tuesday of the month at noon Eastern Standard Time to participate in our live constitutional discussion. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, and share. And remember, together we can restore freedom.